Hello, this will be the video of 10.4 and 10.5. 10.4, 1 through 10 on the vocabulary, and then 10.5, 1 through 4 on the vocabulary, and 1 through 6 on the regular exercises. On 10.4, number 1 on the vocabulary, square root of 7, cube root of 7 are unlike. They cannot be combined because different roots. Number 2, cube root of x squared y and cube root of yx squared. They are like, even though underneath the radical they were in a different order. Because it was multiplication, that's no problem. They are alike. Number 3, the same way. They are alike. Both are cube roots. Both possess a, b, c underneath, although in different order. Number 4, unlike. 2x square root of 5 and 2x square root of 10. Unlike, because not the same radical. Number 5, 2 radical 3 plus 4 square root of 3. They're alike. Both of them square root of 3. So you add the numbers in front, the coefficient, 2 and 4, you get 6 square root of 3. Number 6, again, they're alike. Both of them have square root of 7. So you add the 5 and the 3, 8 square root of 7. 7, both are alike because both have square root of x. So you get 8 square root of x minus 1 square root of x. So it's 7 square root of x. The 1 understood. Number 8, same way. 3 square root of y minus square root of y is 2 square root of y. Number 9, same way. There's a 1 in front of the second radical. So you add the 7 and 1 makes 8 cube root of x. Number 10, same way. They're both cube root of z. So you can add them together. 8 plus 1 is 9 cube root of z. That finishes the vocabulary on 10.5. Then we go to 10.4. That concludes the vocabulary there. 10.5, the vocabulary. Number 1, when you have two terms, a plus b, and you change the sign in the middle, those are called conjugates. Number 2, getting a radical out of the denominator. When we're going to get a square root out of the denominator, that's called rationalizing the denominator. Number 3, when we get a radical out of the numerator, that's called rationalizing the numerator. To rationalize the numerator, for instance, when you have, number 4, when to rationalize the numerator, okay, the denominator, to rationalize the denominator, when you have 5 over the square root of 3, okay, this should say denominator. Rationalizing the denominator of 5 over the square root of 3, you multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. So, down on our written exercises, we've got the square root of 2 over the square root of 7 for number 1. Number 2, like it, square root of 3 over the square root of 2. To get rid of the radical in the denominator, we take the square root of 3 over the square root of 2 times the same thing on top and bottom, which is really 1 right there. Square root of 2 over square root of 2 is 1, so we don't change the value of our fraction at all. Square root of 3 and square root of 2 is square root of 6. Square root of 2 and square root of 2 is square root of 4, which is 2 with no radical. So square root of 6 over 2. Number 3, the square root of 1/5. Number 4, square root of 1/2 is the square root of 1 over the square root of 2. Square root of 1 over the square root of 2 is taken times the denominator, the square root of 2, top and bottom. The radical, the square root that's in the denominator, take times top and bottom. Again, we're multiplying by 1. Square root of 1 and square root of 2 is square root of 2. Square root of 2 and square root of 2 is square root of 4, which is 2. Then, number 5, square root of 4 over y. Number 6, square root of 25 over y. We take the square root of the numerator, square root of 25, which is going to be 5. Then square root of y on the bottom to get rid of that radical on the bottom. That's rationalizing the denominator. 5 over the square root of y is multiplied by the square root of y over the square root of y. So you get 5 square root of y on top. Then these y's together were y squared, and the square root of y squared is y. Because you take, when it's a square root of a y squared, you take the index 2 into the exponent on the y squared. 2 into 2 is 1, so y to the first. That concludes the video lecture on 10.4 and 10.5.